Get lost.
Yeah, that's really it. I'm just letting you know that this is going to be recorded. Keep that in mind.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, there you go. So since the last town hall, we've had a lot of new members join the org, which is cool. We've had some people go, some people leave. We've learned a lot of things, and this town hall is going to be a bit. It's going to explain some rather transformative plans that we have for the org to hopefully transform it in a good way into the best thing that it can possibly be. So a lot of our mentality with the development of this org in the past has always been trying to look forward, plan for the future. We are shifting that mindset to plan for the now and to adapt to the game as it is today instead of 90% of our focus being on how the game is going to be. We're still going to be planning for the future, of course, but instead of that being the majority of our planning in general, it's going to be now a smaller part. And as such, kind of our shortcomings as an org that we've kind of noticed since the last town hall is really an overall dip in activity that we've seen, which is on account of everybody, command staff, absolutely in particular. And kind of the things that we're going to talk about throughout today are going to be in an effort to rectify that, to both incentivize activity and just make it, activity brings activity. So we're trying to kind of catalyze the start of activity in general, which will make everybody want to be active because there are people that are being active. I'm going to plug the referral program, which we normally have, which is presently inactive because the treasury is not entirely empty, but almost empty. If we have people donating to our treasury, which I'll talk about next, we will start back up a referral program to where if you recruit somebody, you get a AUEC reward. I'm going to briefly plug our various kind of documents and stuff and kind of internal systems that we have. We have the the Northern Star Treasury, which is a donation-based org fund under the Northern Star, Northern_Star Star Citizen account. You can donate money to it. Let us know when you do that. And you can also requisition money from it. You need a little bit of money to bridge the gap to a ship. You need XYZ for ABC. Ask. I can't promise that I can supply it because it depends on how much that I have. But the more that people donate, the more money I have to give to people who need it. Give a little, take a little. Stuff like that. We have a Northern Star Operations Manual, which is under development. We're going to kick back into gear on getting that going. That's going to talk about operation-specific guidelines that we are wanting to utilize as we do more operations in general as a part of this initiative. It's a work in progress. It's not set in stone. It's open to feedback. We have the Northern Star Ship Certification Standards, which is our pilot certification system, which is a system to certify pilots for big ships for use during hardcore operations. So certain of our operations are of a more hardcore status. We've got a concrete objective that we definitely want to get done. It's a no screwing around type of op. We have a very important objective that we're trying to do. We want the pilots of the most important ships in those ops, the Hercules, the Polaris, the Starfarer, the Reclaimer, etc. We want them to have been verified that they know what they're doing. That's what the pilot certification standards are for. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about it. If you have questions, ask me after the town hall or message it to me, whatever. All of that works. Before we go further, I've also got ship checklists inspired by my real life experience as an airline pilot that I made just for fun, or RP use if you want. Just a little fun thing that I've made. All of those things are in the documents channel, which everybody has access to. the new squadrons. We've got Apophis that's open. We've got Rat Bastard Defense Force that's open. Our Air Force and Navy squadrons, inverse respectively. They need people. If you're interested in those 2 gameplay loops, go check them out. These squadrons, as we have them now, are going to need to reach 80% full of members before another squadron under the same division can open. One of our main changes that we are going to be implementing as of pretty much this town hall and shortly thereafter is a new drive towards activity. We have been largely we've noticed that we need to improve in the means of activity. Most of our squadrons are presently inactive and not really doing anything. That's my own included. And that is an area where we are planning a big change. Immediately after the town hall, I am going to post a vote in the town hall text channel, which is immediately above this voice chat. And we want all of you to give your feedback on one of 2 main possible ways that Ark and I have come up to consider increasing activity. One suggestion is that we implement a new mandate for sergeants and higher to create 1 operation per month in order to drive activity. They can create more than this, of course, but at least 1 per month, just so we have active content going on a continuous basis. The alternative solution, which will be the one that you're voting again, that the 2 are voting for, the alternative option is that we mandate activity based on squadrons, and a squadron, as a collective group, would be required to post 1 operation every 2 weeks, 1 op per 14 days. It doesn't matter who that op is led by. It could be the squadron leader. It could be one of the members. It doesn't matter. But that would be per squadron basis per 2 weeks, or individually to any command staff member, sergeant and up, once per month. There, of course, would not be hard set, like you missed a window, you get demoted or whatever for either of these options. As always, IRL comes first. If for either option, if it's implemented, if specific circumstances has happened and you need extra time to create an op, all you have to do is let someone know. Just say it, make it known. They'll just silently not do anything, though, is kind of the idea. But after this town hall, I will post a vote for everybody who attended today to participate in order to I want to know what you guys think is the best way forward. I will also be taking questions about that after the town hall. Promotions. My favorite part, personally, of these is we've got some promotions to announce. A side note for the promotions, as we're growing and as we're doing this activity drive, we're going to be more deliberate with how we promote people. And that process has gone into the promotions that I'm announcing today. It does mean that we are going to slightly slow down promotions in general, and only really promoting people when that promotion would serve an actual purpose. Like they'd actually do something with it. It would make a difference, not just a different colored badge in Discord. So with that in mind, for promotion from private to private first class, we're nominating Lucky Crunch, Band-Aider Arden, Moon Gone Mad, Freight Train, Bounty Hunter Zorro, Dragon 82, and I Play Twisted. I'm going to imagine there's applause. Anyway.
Woo!
Applause.
Congratulations.
Again!
Did you hear it?
Yeah. Anyway. For promotion to captain, We are presently nominating Waffle to be captain of our Navy. He's going to be our new Navy lead after Caboose stepped down due to IRL. And then Zerma is going to be promoted to captain, and he's going to be our new lead for the Rangers, the entire Rangers division.
Yeah!
Thank you. Yeah, come on, all right, cool. Sweet, thank you. And finally, for promotion to colonel, we're going to nominate Akori to be our U.S.-based colonel. This promotion in general is going to be, I want everybody to kind of take a note of, especially US-based people. Akori's role as as colonel for all of you is going to be one of kind of a point of contact. If you have something you need within the org, if you have a change you'd like made, if you have a grievance about something, be it another player or a system that we have or whatever, your first real point of contact, if you for whatever reason don't want to talk to myself or Ark, Akori is going to be your man, and he's going to help Ark, myself, and Zane steer this org in the direction that it needs to go. Stand by.
Boo for that one. Boo.
Congratulations, Akari.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
He has earned it. He has very much earned it. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'm tired. Anyway, next, as another part of our drive to improve activity and motivate people to be active within the org, we are in the process of implementing a kind of org points system. I'm going to let Akori do the full explanation, but just to brief it, an org point system that is just non-currency, not AUEC, that will reward activity with the ability to bid on loot from ops as more gameplay loops bring limited loot rewards.
You want me to present it?
And I will give it to Akori to present it in full.
All right. So, hello everyone. So, if you've seen some of the coverage that's coming from the 4.1 PTU, you will know that there's a new activity inbound that will essentially have all branches of all orgs participating to combat, both like in ships and on foot. And the final reward will be a cave that is filled with minerals to mine. Those minerals will be used for crafting armors, weapons, and ships at a new other system that I won't spoil if you guys want to keep yourselves in the dark. So essentially what we're having here, right, is one large activity that requires a lot of people and a very narrow path of rewards. So there will be some minerals that we all have to gather, and the issue that came from that is, okay, so how do we distribute these? Do we just split them apart to everyone that participated? How do we do that? It's a bit of a headache. So I kind of came up with this system that if you've ever played any other MMO, you will have heard of the DKP system, which was essentially a system where you're awarded points for showing up and participating in raids, and you can use those points to bid on the items that drop. For now, we're kind of working our way to creating a sheet. It's almost done, where we will be tracking points earned from operations, and you'll be able to use those points to acquire either the raw materials that we've gathered from the ops or the rewards that those give. So we're still kind of looking to this because obviously the point system needs to make sense for the amount of effort that you do to get the reward that you want. Obviously, if you want to go outside of the org's operations to gather more materials for yourselves, you're always free to do that. We won't intervene at all. This will mostly be a system for us when we do big operations to both motivate you to show up and also be an efficient distribution method for the reward at the end. We'll have a full guide to it once we have everything settled. And we hope that it will be just a way to motivate people to show up more and just be a future-proof method for the future. I'm repeating myself now, I guess. So yeah. I guess we could. Does anyone have like any big questions about this before? Since it's, I don't know if you want to wait for this section for questions for that stuff.
We could take questions for this now because it is such a big and like new thing.
Yeah.
We can take a couple minutes to answer questions. Go ahead.
So if we decide to go outside of the org parameters, collect it, and then decide to give it back to the org, are we going to be distributing points towards that for people who like are playing outside the org some days and they're playing with like a group of friends and they go and do the objective and they collect a lot of it and they're like, well, I don't need it all, so like, deliver it back to the org?
I think we could award points for that as well. We'll have to see how much we give for like how much material you bring back. It's definitely something we can look into. But I'm really not close to the idea. I think it's a good plan.
It's definitely something we could consider. We are very much in the like planning phase for this system. It's not final. It's not set in stone. It's not going to be implemented tomorrow. The core idea of the system is to drive activity. So we really want to keep the core of how you earn points at org participation, doing things with the org at large. And that's really centered around, for in our current implementation, that's centered around operations, creating ops, award you points, attending ops, award you points. That's the main ways that you earn them in our current implementation, in our current ideas anyway. Along with that, I'll say it now, is we want to openly encourage and advertise. So operations, as of right now, are, and it's not looking like it's going to change, are something that can only be created by sergeants and up. They can be posted by sergeants and up, can post operations for the larger org to participate in. This does not mean that only sergeants are allowed to come up with and suggest ops. I want to openly encourage everybody to think of cool gameplay things that you can do in a group of, call it 4 and up, and suggest it to anybody you know who is sergeant or higher. Let them create the op on your behalf, and then you can run it. It just we want the sergeants to kind of be a filter for, you know, good ideas, more or less. So they're going to still only be able to post them, but anybody can suggest an op. And we really just want more ops, because right now you look at our operations channel and there's like 1 or 2 things there, like tops. We want to look at the ops channel and see an op every couple days, like at least. Like, I want you guys to be able to like have a free afternoon for Star Citizen and there's something going on that you can join. That's really our vision for this, is that you need a group to play with. There's a group doing something, go join them. Or start a group to do something. Further to that end, I want to emphasize and recommend that Mo timed out. Shame. I want to openly encourage our sergeants and higher, our command staff, to post ops, not just days, weeks in the future with a ton of planning and detail put into them, but post ops on a more impromptu basis too. if you know you're going to be having a few hours to allocate to Star Citizen for an evening, whatever gameplay you were planning on doing, post an op for it a couple hours in the future. Make it official. Let people see it in the list. And then if you get people that join, do something as a group. If nobody joins, not a big deal. Do what you were already going to do anyway. You don't need to change your plans, but just to get stuff in the list. You know, activity brings activity. If people see people doing things, they're going to be more motivated to do things themselves. Any questions on anything right now, or anything that we talked about in the last 4 minutes?
I got one.
Yeah.
Oh, like I wouldn't mind putting together a op for using a hammerhead and doing some bounties just to do stuff together and earn some money. But what if I don't have access to a hammerhead?
Absolutely.
Access to any ships that could be used for stuff like that.
Sure. That is where I would recommend talking to other org mates. We've got a Fleet Yards website set up that I believe you're signed up for. I don't remember.
I am.
Yeah. So for anybody who's not familiar with it, Fleet Yards is a third-party website that can link into your RSI hangar. We've got it pinned in Member General. So at the bottom of the pins, go look for it. There's an invite link there. You can apply to join. Let me know that you've done it, or myself or Ark, and we can accept you. And you can see everybody else who's signed up what ships they have in their pledged fleet. Go look at the hammerheads. See who owns one. Of those people who own them, who's active? Whose name do you see in the Discord frequently? Let's just, for example, say it's Zerma. He's super active. Maybe he's got a hammerhead in this example. Talk to him and say, hey, I want to do an op with a hammerhead. Can we figure out a time to run an op where we do something in the hammerhead? And just coordinate it with your fellow org mates and see what you can come up with. In cases where the specific ships are smaller and maybe less expensive than a hammerhead, that would be also a good use case for the org treasury. If that's got a large running balance in it and you're 5 mil away from being able to purchase a Valkyrie that you want to use for dropship stuff, maybe the treasury could give you that 5 mil so you can get that Valkyrie for your op. That's one of the use cases for the treasury.
Thank you for answering my question.
Of course, man. Anybody else? Cool. Next up, RP story plug. We've got a written RP story, the RP roll in the Rolls channel. If you like written stories, Ark and I are the two main writers on it. We've got several others that also write for it. We're very proud of it. If you like reading that kind of stuff, check it out. Last thing before I open up to questions overall for everybody. I have designed rank plaques for anybody who wants them. My camera. I 3D print these things. I know my name is backwards because the camera is mirrored, but I'm printing rank plaques out for anybody who wants them. It has your name on it and a rank badge. I'm actually going to be including this formatted so that you actually have pieces to where you can change it as you promote. You can update your rank plaque to represent your new promoted rank without having to buy a new one. I will be selling these starting shortly for $10 US plus whatever it costs to ship it to you. That is all for that. I'm opening the floor to questions.
Well, prior to questions here.
Yeah, go for it, Art.
Yep. So just real quick, we were talking about obviously, our activity levels, and then that lovely video that Akori and Seth made. So On top of that, too, starting in April, specifically, let me look at my calendar because I have it already put in there. On April 19th, about the same time frame, we are going to be doing our first run through of the Northern Star orientation, which pretty much would be for new recruits. That if you guys want to jump in there, it's so that we can kind of walk you through the Discord, the org itself, introduce some of our commanders if they're available, get in, play with each other. A lot of the times that's going to be, we're going to be getting in hammerheads or multi-cruise ships and just running bounties, and just kind of being able to mingle. You guys can, our new people can learn about the org. But that will be our first run through, will be in April here. So the more people, the merrier, because we're going to run through it and then take a bunch of feedback and try to develop it even further, and just make it a little bit overall better. In theory, this will be running every couple of weeks, on top of all the other operations, more just for the new recruits to be able to do. On top of that, starting in May, once I get it finalized and the rest of our command staff gets a chance to look through it, we are going to be doing a like leadership development training thing too, to help if you guys foresee wanting to promote in the future, just kind of understanding the responsibilities, some basic leadership skills that we would like to have in our command staff, and so forth. But that will be starting tentatively in May. I have to finalize the document and just send it out to our command staff to review prior to that, but we have that going on. So you guys should be seeing some of those operations as well here in the near future. But shy of that, you'll also see some other open ops from me as well. So that's all I got.
Before I do open it up to questions, sorry, I almost forgot. Does any of our other command staff, Zane and Akori in particular, but anybody in the command, have anything they want to add, suggest, etc.?
I could say one thing.
Sure.
And it kind of revolves around like the last departures. If like we have like people in the org doing stuff like for the org, like providing services, let's try to always support them. And if you're doing something outside of it that they're providing, like let's not like hurt feelings by like saying it like to them, around them, or just kind of keep that stuff to yourself. Like just if you get stuff from somewhere else, keep it to yourself. Or if you're doing something with someone else, like don't like take away the validity of like a squad doing a service for everyone and kind of upset them. That's really all I have to say.
Cool.
Keep it in the org if possible.
Well, now it's open to everybody. Any questions anyone has, feel free to ask about the points idea, about the vote that I will post. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and type that up while people are asking questions, for the mandated 1 op per month for command staff, or 1 op per 2 weeks for squadrons. I'll be posting that vote momentarily. I'm just going to do a little emote vote thingy.
Sounds good. I do have a question for the floor. If you guys have ideas for ops that you feel like would require a lot of coordination, don't hesitate to reach out to us so we can work the kinks out and maybe try to organize things. Especially in relation to the point system I mentioned earlier. It won't be impacting all ops, but if an op is large enough that it requires a lot of people, a lot of manpower, a lot of ships, a lot of preparations, we'll definitely try to include the point system into that so that everyone feels rewarded for joining in and providing services when needed, because there will definitely be roles that we need that are more passive, and those can be a bit more boring. So we want to make sure that those people feel rewarded for even showing up. So yeah, don't hesitate to. I know Seth mentioned earlier that anyone can request an op to be made, But for those larger ones, like if you have a really cool idea, don't hesitate to ping us, and we'll try to figure things out.
To add on, actually, Wolf, I think it was no, it might have been Captain actually. With your question about if you don't have the requirements for a certain op in your example, it was a hammerhead, right? For that specific example, if you want to reach out to a squadron, platoon, staff member, whoever that works in that department of the organization, they're more likely to have those ships available. Even if they don't personally have it, someone in their squadron might have it available, or it might be a certain gun that you need, something like that. So that's another way you can look to reach out. Like, I myself want to do many ops around the hammerhead, so that example kind of resonated with me there. So if you are serious about that, then reach out, man.
Will do.
I got 2 questions.
Go for it.
We hopefully have 2 answers.
So originally, when Caboose was in charge of the Navy, I was supposed to get with him and figure out joining that squadron. I don't know what the process for that's going to be now.
Talk to me.
Okay. And then the second question I had is a certificate for large ships.
Yes. What about it?
I need to get one. We talked
All
about
right.
it previously, but never got around to doing it.
You'll talk to me about that. Just send me a DM if you haven't already, and we'll get you sorted. I'm currently about to post this up thingy. Thank you for the DM. I will keep that in mind. If I don't get back to you in a reasonable amount of time, DM me again. I forget things sometimes, as we all do. You're not bugging me if you remind me.
Verbally abuse him in DMs, he'll be alright.
Yeah,
He likes it if you abuse him in DMs.
He can take.
only a little.
All right, so everyone spam at once. Are we gonna go ahead and do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. How quickly can we crash Cepheus's Discord?
Easy.
I kind of want to try this now.
No.
It might also kill Zoe's connection.
I can start my spam bot again if you want.
All right, the vote has been posted. I will leave this up until the end of the afternoon in case anybody wants to think about it. Please only vote for one option. I believe I tagged everybody. I just copy and pasted the org list, the attending accepted list. I may have missed a couple people, but if I did, it's fine. It's in the town hall, the text chat immediately above this voice chat.
No, I can't find it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know where it's at. I
Too
can't
many
read.
channels. It's only 2 above.
I know I voted already, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
What if you can't read?
I will leave that open for the rest of the day, and we will see what the result is at end of day, and begin implementing the procedures after that. I expect further kind of hard set tracking and documentation and stuff once we get to working out the details. Yeah. So anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise we'll wrap it up and let you all get about your day. I'll take that as that. Ark, anything else you want to talk about?
Nope, I'm all set.
Cool.
Like I
Accordions
said,
in?
you guys will see more ops hopping here in April. So
Nothing from me. Not yet. I do think like we've covered squadrons a bit in the video. But do we want to let people just have a few seconds to sell their squadrons now? I don't know if you guys want to do that.
Sure. If whoever in here who's leading a squadron, feel free to take a couple minutes and give your elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch, I love that.
If you had 2 minutes in an elevator with somebody and they said, "What kind of squadron do you lead?" Tell them about it. You got 2 minutes before that door opens. Momo, go.
Copy. I am the solo member of the Air Force Squadron, the Rat Bastard Defense Force. And again, as Seth said earlier, eventually we will be focused around fixed points. And hopefully the Air Force grows to many squadrons. We can defend many fixed points. But I actually just kind of finished a rough document that I shared with Seth and Command with some op ideas that I want to start getting potentially going this week. All the way from learning what your cockpit and your HUD means to the symbology in it, flight drills, getting familiar with combat mechanics, flight modes, and then getting into live ops, which can range from similar things that Navy would do, but escorting other operations, whether it be industrial or somebody dropping off a Ranger squadron into a hot zone, defending fixed points in space or on ground, doing advanced scouting and vanguard missions, so getting ahead of a main battle group, getting some data of the enemy forces, if any, or even helping larger mining ships or salvage ships find other ships to mine or minerals to salvage. And then going up to bounty hunting as well, whether it be PvE or PvP. So those are some of the things I'm kind of looking forward to doing and getting going. If anyone wants to join just for fun and help each other get better at air combat mechanics and things like that, anyone's welcome to do it. So that's my pitch.
Zerma.
I am Zerma, leader of the Wreckers. We are a FPS in motorized combat unit. We strive to always use motorized units as often as humanly possible. And yeah, join us today. Meet cool people, kill them.
I love it.
That's changed a little bit.
Waffle.
Hello, I'm Waffle, newly appointed leader of Navy. More on that if you ask about it, but I lead Apophis, which is our one and only Navy squadron right now. I call it a squadron. It's a ship, functionally the same thing. It just doesn't have the same member cap rules as explained in the video. We're going to be doing a lot of the same stuff that Mo's doing in his squadron for a while, mainly because there isn't much of a diversity in gameplay in it. But the moment that bases and stuff like that come into the game, we will be staying in a very nomadic play style, moving around a lot. And a lot of our gameplay is going to be more aggressive, where we are out pushing an objective rather than defending it. That's the main difference I feel in Navy and Air Force gameplay currently. If you want to join me, hit me up. This is improvised as fuck right now because I'm recovering from surgery. So quoting me on this is going to be fun. That's me.
Cut him some slack, but no, actually rip into him. Fuck it. Anyway.
Go
hard. Who else in here is Ark?
Yeah. So I am the leader of the Spectres. We are a FPS ground combat ranger squadron, focusing primarily on stealth tactics, sniping, recon, target acquisition, and elimination. So we are the forefront of the, I would say, a force recon squadron. And yeah, we are a North American squadron at this point in time. But we do play a wide variety of different times just because I work a weird schedule. And like I said earlier, you'll see more ops here in the future. I believe I actually have my first recruitment ops slated for, once my calendar works again, April 10th. So
you get that posted, by the way.
I'm going to. The reason why a lot of my stuff is postponed till April is just because I am going to be I'm not really out of town, but I will be indisposed for the next week doing a rope rescue course. So, yeah, that's my squadron. Here's an apple. Here's a gun. Don't talk to strangers. Shoot them.
Akai.
A who? A clay?
Akai. Akai.
I didn't realize we had toys here.
I'm a clay. I'm in charge of the Raven Squadron. We are also a Ranger Squadron. It will be very similar to Zerma Squad. Though right now I am by myself, happy, single, but open to recruiting.
Ready to mingle.
And ultimately, while the idea will still be to be a Ranger Squadron, doing a lot of FPS combat and also using a lot of vehicles, the squadron will thematically, at the very least, be centered around the mechas, or rather the Atlas platform, that are being introduced into the game right now. Obviously, as of patch 4.1, we'll only have the cargo variant and the Geo for mining. But those two are, when they are working, are very exciting, and myself and just about everyone anticipates a combat variant to be added to the game sooner or later. I'm guessing they might be adding one of these once every year, so maybe next year we'll have a combat variant, and if it is useful in game, will be a central component of the squadron. Meanwhile, I'll try to train mostly with Geo. If you see some of my ops, they will be either traditional FPS focused, or they will be focused around trying to learn the Geo and go mining with it, and have a lot more experience with the Atlas platform in general. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And finally, Angel Wolf.
Okay, well, I didn't actually prepare anything, but
someone asked you, just casually, how would you explain it?
Well, I'm Angel Wolf. I run pizza delivery. Currently, still by myself, but I'm planning on starting some mining ops soon. Basically, anything industrial on the EU side will currently be with us, which means mining, salvage, hauling, and eventually also base building and all the crafting that's in there. The plan is eventually that one of our main production facilities will actually be run by us.
Very, very cool. And finally, myself, I run Prison Corp Logistics. We are I would do the self-introduction, but you know who I am. Prison Corp.
Stalking.
Yeah, right. Prison Corp Logistics is a primarily cargo and logistics squadron running delivery missions, cargo ships. Our flagship is the NSIS Proxima Centauri, a Polaris. So we're kind of industrial navy-ish in final implementation. We won't use exclusively the Polaris, but basically whatever will suit our needs. In the future, we're going to be heavily oriented towards providing logistical support for our Navy division. So delivering ships, delivering ammo, delivering fuel, delivering whatever they need to where they need it is going to be our job. All of these squadrons that we've talked about are going to be becoming active soon, within the next several weeks. More details to come on that as we hammer them out, but if they're not doing anything now or haven't done anything yet, they will. So get your seats while they're open.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah.
Would it be cool if I plugged the marketing team real quick?
Go for it.
So hi, I'm flying a spaceship. Most people call me Spaceship. I am the marketing director. I work with Akori and Seth and some of the other guys. We work to bring Northern Star out to as many people as possible. I specifically am working on a project called the Northern Star Tribune. We're looking for people to submit stuff. and it can go into any Northern Star publication, whether it's a video or the Tribune itself or whatever. And we'd like to get you guys involved in writing some stuff up and maybe just see what we can bring.
Thank you very much. Any closing thoughts from anybody before I let you all get back to your Sunday?
Yeah, maybe I'd like to say something.
Go for it, man.
So yeah, I really like all of the LARPing and hierarchy stuff, but I'm just gonna hop online in Star Citizen on the time I can play, and maybe like a mercenary, basically just join whatever op or squadron is doing something at the time and just have fun.
Yeah,
doesn't matter what squadron I'm in. It's, for me, only the time zone and the server is important,
Yes.
and the day of the week, of course.
To be clear to everybody, the squadrons are intended to be, they're groups, but they're not sub-orgs. They're not walled-off divisions. None of our divisions have walls in any way. You are encouraged to participate with anybody and everybody that shares an interest with you. If you're a part of a squadron, that does not prohibit you from playing with another squadron. If you're not in any squadron, that does not prohibit you from playing with every squadron. The only time a squadron doing something would not permit other, people, outside individuals to join would be if that squadron's leader determines it so, which they might do if they're like full and they have a really specific training they want to get done, preparing for something in the future. They might not want, non-squadron people to join, but I think for the vast majority of content and ops that any squadron or command member provides, everybody is welcome, regardless of division, squadron, whatever. So to your point, Nas, that's exactly what we want. Is if you're online, look for somebody doing something, join them. Our part on behalf of the generals, the colonels, the captains, the lieutenants, and the sergeants, this new drive is meant to provide you with content to join when you do play. That's what we're trying to do.
Oh, and
so
don't forget about the looking for group channel. You can always ping play in there, and everyone will know that you're looking for a gunner, someone to do cargo or whatever. That's for more improvised game sessions than operations. But everyone can post in there.
Yeah, ops are typically intended to have at least some degree of planning put into them. You don't need to make a 20-page slideshow for it. You don't need to make any formal written stuff. Just say, I want to crew up in XYZ ship and do ABC. That's all you really need to do. And give, a couple hours heads up on an op. Don't post one that starts in 10 minutes. For super impromptu or open stuff, all members are encouraged to make a post in looking for group LFG multi-crew. It's up towards member general. You do not need to be command to use that. Please don't abuse the @play tag because it does ping almost everybody in the server. But use it sparingly. Use it when you have some content you're doing or looking for. And, play with people. Fill the voice chats because I'm sure, everybody who just hops in the game, if they look and they see a voice channel with 4 or 5 people in it, they might join. I've found when I just sit in a voice channel here, people join. I get 2 people. I get a 3rd. I get a 4th. Next thing I know, I've got 10 people and we're doing, we fully crewed a reclaimer and we're going and running salvage and it's great. Didn't even need to post an op for it. Posting ops is important, and it's something we're going to really drive to give you guys a lot of. But it is just as important as the improvised, super short notice, impromptu content that people can just join and leave as their playtime sees fit.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, man.
Every Saturday for about the next month or 2, I'm going to be running the Polaris, Justin Stanton to rep up everything since they're not getting rid of rep, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to just hang out on the Polaris or come and join as part of the crew, I'll be running that every single Saturday for the next couple weeks or month, maybe. Just depends on what's going on.
What time zone?
Time zone will be Central US from 6 to like 10 o'clock, usually. Depends on what I have going on. But if it's going to be on Saturday, like I want it to be, it'll be all day from about 8 a.m. till about midnight.
Please do feel free, if you're doing one of those like all day type things, feel free to post it and looking for group multi-crew if you want. Also, if you want to plan something specific, feel free to reach out to a sergeant or higher and ask them to post an op on your behalf. To get something formal. You have to be sergeant or up to physically post the ops. You do not have to be a sergeant or up to come up with ideas and share them and get content going in the game. So nobody is barred from doing that as long as you like take it seriously and are putting forth a genuine opportunity for gameplay. Everybody is encouraged to do that. So, you know, please do it. And again, as a sergeant or higher, if you are posting an op on the behalf of someone else, I don't even care if you're there. Like, if One Drop wants to talk to Waffle for a Polaris op and Waffle posts it, but it's at like 8 p.m. US and Waffle's going to be asleep, Waffle could just post it and then go to sleep. It doesn't matter. One Drop can still run it. And with our new point system, by the way, it's intended to where whoever posted it, it's who runs it that gets those points. So you get credit for that activity as well. I see you need to leave, Vita. Nice having you. Thanks for coming. We're wrapping up now anyways.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good having you. See you, man.
Bye.
In a bit, dude.
But yeah, that's how it's intended, is anybody who has something they want to do, speak up. You know, just say something. We'll get something posted in writing. If it's short notice and impromptu, make a post and looking for group multi-crew. Anyone else? Cool. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate the attendance. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate all of you for being here and sticking with us through this kind of lower activity period. We are working hard to turn this org from just kind of a group of friends that casually hang out sometimes to an org that actually gets stuff done and makes a difference. And instead of waiting for patches to come to change the game to drive activity, we're going to drive activity now and start taking advantage of the patches when they come instead of using them as an excuse to wait for later, which is a big downfall that I personally have had. So together, we're going to make this org more active and a better place to be. And I appreciate you all for being a part of that journey.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and, you know, have fun. I'm personally going to be logging off, but if